I'm really happy to be able to be a part of this. I'm working with the Friends of the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore. We're really pleased that Bayfield Heritage Association has stepped forward to do this program and the program with Bob McGrath talking about the establishment of the National Lakeshore. When I saw that you were going to be doing a presentation about the lost formations, I love seeing these pictures that are more than 100 years old and see the amount of change that's taken place in that amount of time. But there have been some more recent changes that we've seen just in the last few years. And I thought it'd be nice to add a few photographs of these more recent lost formations, such as this point that is on the east side of Sand Island. It's called Swallow Point. This arch for many years marked the southern tip of Swallow Point and the entry to East Bay, right up until about just a little over 5 years ago. When going out to the islands, we noticed that the pedestal for this arch had collapsed. So if you just look to the right of that sailboat in the distance, you can just see the pedestal that's left over from that collapsed arch. It just goes to show how the shorelines of the Apostle Islands are constantly changing. Sometimes it happens over a period of years, and sometimes it happens over a period of days. Now, this next image is along the mainland unit of the park near Mauique Bay. And for many years, when you would walk out to see the ice caves in the winter or paddle out to see the caves in the summertime, this was the first arch that you were able to walk or paddle through at the west end of the mainland sea caves. And that icy pedestal there held up for many, many years until sometime between November of 2007 and February of 2008. Because when we walked out there that February to see the ice caves, we found out that that pedestal had collapsed, leaving behind this really fresh cut of the crossbeds of that sandstone. This is all called the Devil's Island Formation. This is the type of sandstone that has very thin layers and is fairly weak, and it is easily eroded into those cliffs, caves, and arches. Now, if you look at those trees, you'll still be able to see that tree in the next image. Boom, there it is. That shows you where the crack was that was exposed when the pedestal collapsed. So this just happened about 12 years ago. And during the last couple of years when we've had good ice caves, there have been many times where I've stood out at this location with before and after photos like the ones you see here, just to share those with visitors to show them how quickly the rock layers can change. And I think Bobby is going to tell you about this formation.
On the north corner of Oak Island, there stood this history-rich brownstone landmark, so-called in the old postcard. Oak Head served not only Native Americans as a vista, looking out for oncoming people that may have been in the area. It also served a group of pirates in the mid-1700s as a visual campsite and landmark for furthering their dubious duties. This brownstone also served as a dead reckoning coordinate for the local commercial fishermen and was amply dubbed by these guys as the hole in the rock. And I think you can see right through there what they're talking about. Until the Sandstone Bridge, it was approximately 100 feet to the north from the island, and it collapsed to the forces of Mother Nature. I think Neil mentioned to me somewhere around 2010. This landmark again served as a dead reckoning fixture for the setting of commercial gill nets. If you're in a boat, when you came up to it, when the gap of the light opened up in the hole there, the fishermen turned their course and steered westward towards Raspberry and Bear Islands, and they dropped their nets in about 20 fathom deep water and wound up in maybe 25, 26 fathom. And of course, that was the spot where there were many whitefish and lake trout caught. A few hundred feet westward of the Oak Head is a wonderful another little site. It's a National Park Service Apostle Islands National Lakeshore Sand Beach campsite and non-designated but highly utilized anchoring moorage site in that little bay. Here visitors and mariners near Oak Island can look to the east and view not only Manitou Island but also the Oak Head megalith and magnificent waters of Lake Superior that frame this giant sandstone. While the forces of the nature have laid down Oak Head's natural arch to a crumbled tombstone status, the universal legend Lake Superior remains graciously and at times violently to the posterity of all people who chance upon those waters.